Hello, welcome to Nina's Knots Crochet. I'm Lynanne. If you're new here, hey, thanks for stopping by and checking out my channel. Well, it's all about crochet. Today's Tuesday, so we're going to be talking Tunisian crochet. We also talk about yarn or a gadget or an event or something cool happening in the yarning community. Life, sports, weather, you never know. It's just friends hanging out, talking about all things yarny. Returning subscribers, thanks so much for coming back, spending a little bit of your Tuesday with me. Believe it or not, this is take number 3. I've had to start and stop this video 3 times because there's a lot I want to talk about today. And I kept forgetting things out in the living room. So I had like, pause, run back outside, come back in. Sometimes I'm not very organized. Pretty much all the time. But anyway, I think I've got it now. So, you know, third time's a charm, right? So, if you've been around a while, you'll know that in the month of October, my plan for Tunisian Tuesday is I want to make a pair of socks. My original plan was I was going to make a pair for my husband, Mott. Then I changed it. I was going to make a small pair for my granddaughter, Charlotte. And then I've changed it back now to I'm making a pair for my husband, Mott, because I can try them on him. And I think that that's kind of an important step. Either try them on yourself or try them on who you're making them for so that you know that you're doing it the right way. There's a lot of measuring in this. And let me tell you the saga of how I landed on the pair that I'm doing. So my original plan was I was going to do this pair. It is a book that I bought on Ravelry. The designer's name is Nadine Taylor, and this is this was out in 2000. It's copyrighted 2022. Yeah. So her book is Tunisian Crochet Basics, Slippers, Socks, or Socks and Slippers, Toe Up, and I loved this pair of socks. I have a really beautiful pair of black and gray striped sock yarn and some gray minis to go with it. I thought it would make a beautiful pair of socks for Tom. And one of the other things that is really amazing about this is that in the book itself, now I'm not going to show it to you completely, but there's a complete size chart from everything from 6 to 18 months to a man's size 12-14. It gives you an idea of the foot circumference and the total foot length. That doesn't work for Tom. Tom has extremely wide flat feet, so that kind of didn't work for me. It gave me a starting off place because one of the other really good things about this pattern and this pattern book, not only do you get 3 or 4 different patterns, but lots of tips, lots of tricks, and this really nifty checklist with a visual of where you need to measure the foot. And then, so I took this part of this with the measurements and said, thank you, no, because yeah, you're using a 4mm hook and finger weight yarn, and it almost ended up in the front yard. It was way too fiddly for me, and I was just really frustrated with it, and I didn't want to do something that was going to frustrate me. I wanted to do something that I knew I was going to enjoy, and I would have a pair of socks at the end. So I pivoted, which I seem to be doing a lot of lately. And I am doing a pair of socks called the Tunisian Knit Socks by Angela Plunkett of Little Monkey Designs. Sorry it's in black and white, but they're little ankle socks. But they're done in DK weight. So I'm using a 6mm double-ended hook. No, using these chains, the measurements, I've had to do some differences. Like at the end of round 5, they wanted me to be at 38 stitches. I had to go until I was at 44 stitches in order to fit Tom's foot. So now I have to, when I'm doing the counts, I have to increase it by that much so that I know where I'm going. And well, actually, I've had to increase since then. Tom's anemic, so his feet swell. So the top of his foot swells. So I had to, once I got the toe to fit, then I had to increase a few more stitches to get it over the top of his foot. So my increases are different than what the pattern says, but I'm at the point now where I'm just going round and round and round until I get to the point for the heel. So my rows are going to be off and my measurement's going to be off. Like in this one, they say do the knit stitch in the round until it measures 8 inches. Well, Tom's foot's longer than that. I have to go, oh no, it's not. His is 7.5 inches. So I have to, even though I need the big wide foot, I have to, he's tried these on several times. Let's just put it that way. But it's really not that difficult. The toe was super easy to do because think about when you're doing like the bottom of a bag, you crochet on one side, then you flip it and you crochet on the other side, and then you start in the round. So the toe is kind of flat. And then you do, oh, come on now. How'd you get, oh, you're stuck, hold on. Yeah, you can see I have a lot of stitch markers in here. But, so you can see I started the toe and I did my increases. And then this got him through the toe part, and then I got to the top of his foot where it was too, so I did some more increases. And now these fit him pretty well. Even though it looks funny, they fit him well enough. And now I am to the part where I'm just going to where I'm getting ready to split for the heel. I am using the Ella Rae DK wool that I have, superwash merino wool. It's got a little bit of nylon in it because it's getting a little bit of stretch, right? And these are going to be more or less slipper socks. They're kind of thick, but you can see I did the toe and then I started marking for my increases so I knew how many increases I did. And then these are how many rows I did until I got to this spot. And then I started doing a few extra increases. So I know how many rows I had to increase. And this orange big one is where I've started to go till I get to the point where I'm going to split for the heel. Lot of stitch markers. I find that this type of stitch marker, the light bulb type of stitch markers, they work best for this project because they're not adding any weight to it. And they kind of just flop out of the way because they're small enough, but they're big enough for me to know what I'm looking at, right? So right now, I've increased it enough to go over the top of his foot. I'm doing to the heel. And then the heel's done, the way she explains it, it's really cool. So you're going to pick up some stitches and go back and forth till you decrease, and then you fold it, and then you go to you start doing, all right, so you decrease, and then you fold it in half, and then you do increases back on the other side, and then you close it up on, it's cool, it's gonna be cool. I think they call it a flap heel. Technical terms mean nothing to me. I'm just following the pattern. I am using, because I'm going in the round, you have to use 2 strings, but I'm using the same color. Now, if it's easier for you, you can use 2 separate colors, but I have both of them on my double-ended holder. they're specifically on 2 different kinds of spindles so that I know when I move this from place to place, when I set this down, the one that's on the white spindle is on that side, on the right side, so that my yarn doesn't tangle. And then I flip it back and forth so that my yarn doesn't tangle. And so far, lucky me, I have not had any tangles with my yarn, except for now when I moved it again. It always does this when I move. But yeah, so my yarn is entangled, and I just have to remember to switch it back and forth the same way instead of twisting it, so that my yarn, my forward pass yarn is this on this side, my return pass yarn is on this side, and never the two shall cross until they come into a stitch. So I'm doing pretty good. It's a weird looking sock, I know, but when it's on him, you don't see this. I honestly, I have thought about frogging this back, but so far it's working, and I'm not going to change it. It'll be an odd looking pair of socks for an odd looking guy. He's my guy. I can say that. What was I going to say? Oh, let's talk hooks. I want to get some of this wrapped up before I get even bigger mess here. Hang it. Bear with me, please. Un momento. Oh, it's coming more undone. Oh, gosh. Okay, let's just get this wrapped up real quick. Okay, that one's done. And that one's done. Okay, so that's a little bit neater. Let's talk hooks. Now, most of you have seen I had this whole set. Nope, that's not it. That I purchased. I've purchased a couple of these. One I got on, I believe, on Temu, and the other I got from Knit Picks. And you can tell the difference between, let's see, like this one I can tell this is a Temu one. But these are the double-ended ones that one side's a 7, one side's an 8. One side's an 8, one side's a 10. One side's a 3, one side's a 5. It's very weird. They're useful because when you're using, like, if you would pick, say you wanted to do something with an 8mm, you would pick the 8 and the 7, and you would make sure that you're using the side that's the 8 for the forward pass and the 7 for the return pass, because that wouldn't make a big deal. But for me, I didn't like the head on these. They're not quite pointy enough for me. So these do have their uses, just not for the socks. So what I did is I got this set from Knit Pal, which I purchased off of Amazon. They are bamboo, but they have a more pointy head. Look at the difference. Where this one is really rounded and this one is really pointy. So much better for me anyway, as far as getting it into the thing. So these, again, a difference is this is a 5mm. It's 5mm on both sides. A 5.5mm, a 4.5mm, and a 4. That's as small as it goes. It's a 4mm. So I can still do that pair with this set. Amazon, I'm not affiliated. I don't have links, all that. I'll try to find it and link it if you're looking for this set. I think it was like $11, and you got 5 of them because I have the 6mm on my socks right now. So you get the 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, and a 6. They come in this nifty little pouch. These are the smaller size. They do have a 12-inch one. These are the 6-inch size. This is the size you want for socks. Because using the bigger ones, not so much. And even I was going to try to use these that I got from We Crochet with the small cord. These were specifically made for in the round. They're still too big. They're too big for socks. If you're going to do socks, I recommend one of these smaller sets, these little 6-inch ones that are double-ended, because you'll be having a big long thing back and forth, and it would get cumbersome and it would get a little bit obnoxious. I'll leave this, like, I'm not affiliated with them. I'm just telling you, this is the one that I found that is working well for me. The hooks themselves are nice and soft. They are smooth. I don't have any issues. Sometimes bamboo hooks can be a problem. So far, I have not had an issue with this set. I've only used the one hook, but I'm assuming if this one's good, the others are good. So, yeah, I'm not having a single issue with this. So that's just my opinion, you know, among friends. You're welcome to use whatever you think you want to use. Yeah, honestly, I might frog this back today and start over and do the increases so this doesn't look so funny. I keep looking at it and I'm going, I don't know, this is funny looking. This is just, I only worked on this for 3 days and I don't work on it a lot. I think if I give it a really good, I could get this back to here in no time. I would just frog it back to this first one and then keep increasing until I got to here. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to frog it back down to here and get rid of this. And so it's all, I'll show you next week what I've done. But I've started and I'm going to get this pair of socks done. And I am really, really looking forward to getting this done. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting Tom a pair of warm woolly socks. So with that, you guys, that's Tunisian Tuesday. Listen, if you have any questions that I might be able to help, listen, I am not a pro. I only play one on TV. But I will, if I can't answer your question, I might know where to send you to get some answers. But email me, leave a comment, Instagram message, however you want to get a hold of me. You gotta wait at Facebook, whatever. Send me a message. I'll see if I can't help you. If I don't know the answer, we'll find somebody who can help us together. So with that, I'm gonna let you get back to your day. Take care of yourself. Give yourself a little bit of grace. Remember, it's gonna be okay. Take a deep breath. Be kind to yourself, but above all, be kind to everyone. And I will see you tomorrow for BOGGY. Have a good one.